My peoples, get ready for the smoke, my peoples. Get ready for this smoke. Salute everybody. Happy Monday. What a weekend of boxing. I'm over here setting up shop. Get ready for the smoke, my peoples. Help is on the way, y'all. My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Yo, we talking boxing, man. Y'all know what it is. What a weekend of boxing. Wow, my peoples. We got an explosive knockout from Frank the Ghost Martin. And we got, it was just a lot of good fights. A lot of good boxing. So let me start this thing off by saying happy Monday to everybody. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Salute. My boy Toy Mafia in the building. Sai in the building. Underrated Will. What's the deal? Corey B, Daniel Negron, Shaggy, my peoples. Happy Monday. We had a great weekend of boxing. And listen, man, I'm going to kick this thing off right away. We got to talk about it. We had some real good fights, some real good action. Let me bring it back to the beginning because Frank the Ghost Martin gave us some serious action, my people. Frank the Ghost Martin with potentially the knockout of the year. Devastating blow for Frank the Ghost Martin. Bah! Landed flush and yo, put Bartholomew to sleep. Did you guys see that? Something interesting, and this is what happens in boxing. Frank Martin has only lost one fight in his career. And that was to Tank Davis. And look, right now, he was fighting on the prelims. He wasn't even on the main card. And finished it with a devastating knockout, my people. What a shout. It just landed flush. You know, first of all, he was outboxing Bartholomew. You could see the difference in speed. Bartholomew, I think like 40 years old, something like that, or close to it. And he was just too slow for Frank Martin. So you could see that Frank was dictating the pace, and then he just caught him with a quick 1-2, bro. Like that left leg is so flush right in the snack box, my people. Bang! And that's it. That's all she wrote. Frank Martin finished the show in epic fashion, and he shows that he's a dark horse in the division. Side, let's get Frank Martin versus Keyshawn Davis. Look, man. We know that the Ghost brought his power to the 140 division. That's it. It's official tissue. That shot, he put the division on notice. Salute to Frank Martin. Y'all walked out of there with a devastating win. You see him celebrating at the end. And listen, for a moment there, even Frank Martin was worried about his opponent. Even he went there. Like, he started celebrating, obviously, because he got the KO. But when he realized how hurt Bartholomew was, he stopped the celebration. So, salute to Frank Martin for that. Stop the celebration. Hold on. Let's make sure he's okay. And thankfully, Bartholomew was able to get up on his own feet and all that. But what a knockout, my people. Shout out to Frank Martin. Put himself back in the map. Same Mosley Jr., my people, and Jesus Ramos. Did you see that fight? They went at it. What a showdown. They went back and forth, the ebb and flow, but Ramos started getting the best of Shane Mosley Jr., started landing the better shots. And eventually, you know, it started showing. And he won the fight. It was a good fight. Mosley Jr. had his moments, but ultimately, Jesus Ramos Jr. was too much. Too much. That's the way that it played out. It was an exciting fight to watch, you know, because it went back and forth, both of them landing real good shots on each other. It's just that Ramos was more consistent throughout the fight. Mosley put up a good fight. He was fighting back. And like I said, landing some good shots on his own. Ramos was just too much. That's all it was. Ramos was landing the cleaner shots, being more active. And at the end, by the end of the fight, you could see that Mosley needed a knockout. Like, okay, you're losing this fight. You need a knockout. But Ramos was out there still putting hands on him. So when that, you know, when that fight finished, you was like, okay, yeah, Ramos got that. Got him. You know, Mosley, I think he's a good fighter. If I'm not mistaken, he's 38 years old. And he got beat up pretty good. So I'm not sure what's next for him, but Ramos made a statement with that W. There you have it, my peoples. Jesus Ramos put the Swiss, the Dre, and the Apple Bates on Shane Mosley Jr. Now, my peoples, y'all know that I made this prediction exclusively on Box Center 2.0. I told you guys, I said, listen, this prediction right here, I'm not going to make it right away. Don't rush me to it. Go to Box Center 2.0, and I'm going to make it on there. And I did. Now, what did I say when it was time to make the prediction? I said, look, both of these fighters are real good. The only thing that makes me really hesitate is those 2 pounds that Cool Boy had extra for the win. That made me think about it. Did he do that on purpose to have an edge? Or he simply couldn't make weight, which means that he's not as good of shape as he should be. And I just see how sharp O'Shaquie Foster is. Cool Boy's moving up. Didn't make weight. And I'm looking at the skill set too. O'Shaquie's the more aggressive fighter. Cool Boy likes to counterpunch. And when I put it all together, I said, nah, O'Shaquie's going to win this fight. That was my prediction. I'm going to be honest. I did not think that O'Shaquie Foster was going to dominate the way that he did. That's not what I expected. Don't get it twisted. I thought it was going to be more competitive. Be honest, my peoples. Stephen Fulton was throwing punches out the air like crazy. I've never seen so many air punches in a fight. And maybe the word never is an exaggeration. But I can't think of a fight where a fighter threw that many punches where they're too far from their opponent. You're not going to hit them. You're not going to, I've never seen someone do it that much. It's almost like Stephen Fulton could not find his range. He could not find the right range to land punches. He kept, my goodness, the air jab, the jab in the air, the jab in the air, the jab, the triple jab in the air. You kept seeing Stephen Fulton just air punching. And O'Shaquie Foster, that jab, man, he was jabbing the shit out of Stephen Fulton. Pop, pop, stiff jab, pop, pop. He kept catching him with it. Maybe that's something that kept him off rhythm. But I know that Cool Boy was disappointed with his performance because, wow, he just was not, I don't know what happened. I just don't know what happened with him. O'Shaquie Foster showed out, showed his skills, and I've been telling people, O'Shaquie's a guy that he got power, but he can box. I'm not sure why when he comes up, people think he's just a brawler and he's gonna get in there and just. This guy can box, bro. And he showed it yesterday because Cool Boy's a guy who can box. He outboxed a boxer. So you gotta give respect to O'Shaquie Foster. You know, the way that he performed. He basically dictated what was gonna happen in that fight throughout. It was a convincing win. He beat him up. Let's be real, my peoples. Beat him up. That's what O'Shaquie Foster did. And I was calling this fight live. Some of you may have tuned in. The right to the mouthpiece. The left to the dome piece. The right to the wig piece. My people's O'Shaquie Foster was putting all type of hands on Stephen Fulton. Keep it 100%. I'm not sure why, what happened. But Cool Boy just... And I'm going to tell you part of the reason why I say, yeah, O'Shaquie got this. Because Cool Boy's moving up in weight. And you don't make weight? That's not a good look. It's not just that it's not professional. When I started thinking, did he do it on purpose? Or he didn't make weight? So you know what? I think he just didn't make weight. Because it's too much of a bad look for you to move up in weight and still not make weight. So I think he just didn't make weight. I don't think it was done on purpose. The hydro grind, give me my flowers. You had it right. You had it right. Good eye. Well, come on, my peoples. Hold on. The hydro grind. I'm here to collect my flowers. I said Foster was going to win, and he did. Nobody here believed me. Hold on. Why you saying nobody here believed you when I made my prediction on Box Center 2.0, and that's who I said was going to win? What are we talking about? But cool boy Steph Fulton was just not himself out there. And I'm not saying that something was wrong or anything, but Shakur Foster didn't allow him to be himself. That jab was in his face piece, in his mouthpiece, in his nose, in his toupee, all over the place. Shakur Foster jab, pop, pop, stiff ones to the face. He couldn't stop it, man. Shakur kept him off rhythm. So there you have a dominating performance from Shakur Foster to get the W. Gotta respect it, my peoples. Gotta respect it. And I'm gonna tell you what, I don't understand why Shakur Foster keeps getting like these wins, yo. These real quality, real big wins, and he don't get his flowers like that. You know, when we talk about guys that are champions and guys that are fighting at the high level like that, if you think about it, people don't give Shakur Foster his flowers like that. I give it to him. I give him his credit. But I don't see it like that. Kubo was just in there with a superior boxer. No version of Stephen Fulton could have beat Shaq. I've been high of Shakur for a while. I've been believing in him. But he been made me a believer. And he keeps doing it. Shakur Foster keeps getting these types of wins, and people keep doubting him. Salute to Shakur Foster. Bam. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He put all type of hands on a world champion caliber fighter and cool boy Steph Fulton. There you have it. Now, my peoples, did y'all see the fight with Erislandi's Lara? Erislandi's Lara fought an opponent that I don't really know like that. In the first round, he dropped him. And that was a big surprise. You know, I don't think anyone was expecting that to happen. Lara dropping a guy in the first round. And when he dropped him, I said, is Lara going to stop him? Is Lara going to stop this dude? I really thought about that. And it went 12 rounds. It was, I would say it was an easy win for Lara. Homeboy fighting him was putting up a good fight and was fighting back and landed some good shots here and there. But ultimately, he was outclassed. Lara was the better boxer, and it was obvious early on. It dropped him in the first round, but even after that, it was obvious that Lara was going to win this fight. Lara keeps proving us wrong. What is he, 42 years old? At 42 years old, man. Not proving us wrong with this fight. I think we all expected him to win. But the fact that he keeps winning at that age is crazy. The hydro ground, Lara really started to look his age. Around round 5, he was gassed. He was looking a little bit tired, but still, his opponent, who had a good punch output, just couldn't do nothing with him. The skills was too much. The defense, the footwork. Salute to Erislandi's Lara. Let's see. Let's see if this means that he's going to be fighting Terrence Crawford, because he don't have to worry. He got the WBA belt. The only person, I guess, that won't be fighting Crawford is Carlos Adames, the one who I wanted to see him fight Crawford, because he got the WBC title, and it's already been said by Mauricio Sulaiman that Crawford won't be fighting nobody in the WBC. So there you have it, man. Erislandi's Lara got the knockdown in the first round, stared his opponent down. Oh, look at you. Look at you. Had to do a little showing out by these Lara, but you gotta give it to him. When's the last time? I don't even know when's the last time he had somebody down like that. So salute to Lara, man. Come on now. My peoples. My peoples. Pitbull Cruz versus Lamar Roach. Damn, a second draw for Lamar Roach. Come on, man. Second draw in a row. I'm going to tell you something. When they announced the draw, Pitbull looked happy as hell, y'all. Be honest. Pitbull was like happy as hell when they said that shit was a draw. Look, I'm going to tell you, this has been real controversial. You know, some people say Pitbull got it. Some say Lamar Roach got it. You guys know I was calling it live. And from my end, what I saw is that the first half of the fight, Pitbull was, I felt like he won most of the rounds in that first half. But then the second half, I had Lamar Roach getting that. So honestly, when they said, crazy enough, yo, in round number 10, I lost the feed. I lost the feed. So I don't know what happened in round number 11 and round number 12. I didn't watch them live. I got people in the chat telling me, oh, this guy's doing this, oh, this guy's doing that. I'm like, oh, shit, man. So I didn't witness the last 2 rounds. I'm just seeing what people are saying. Fight is over. A draw is announced. Since I missed the last 2 rounds, maybe my perception is a little bit twisted, but I felt, based on what I saw, that it could have been a draw. Based on what I seen, it could have went either way. I didn't have Lamar Roach edging it out or winning it. I didn't see the last 2 rounds. I don't know what he did in those last 2 rounds. It's just that my perception, based on the first 10 rounds before I lost the feed, man, this is close. This thing could go either way. When the 10th round finished and I lost that feed, I felt like it could have gone either way. Come on now. Felt like it could have gone either way. Northside, we're not even talking about Crawford. You let that sizzle in your spirit. That man owns rent-free space in your head. You really went in here talking about Crawford. But listen, a draw based on what I saw, I'm okay with it, my people. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to be honest. I would have to, and I have to see those last 2 rounds. Just sit there, because I've seen some of it, but I really need to sit there and watch and see how they played out. Because I'm telling you, when I lost that feed at the end of the 10th, I'm like, damn, this fight is really close. I don't know who got this. Shakur Hands, I'm not okay with it. Good morning, Jay Smith. Okay, Shakur Hands, who you got winning this fight? Who you got winning this fight? Let me know. Shakur Hands, Roach took over that fight. Okay, so at what point, though, do you feel like he took over? Let me know. At what point do you feel like he took over the fight? The Hydro Grind, I'm okay with the draw, too. If I had to give the edge to one, would be Pitbull. I do think the ref took off a point unfairly to Pitbull. That could have been the difference. You see the Hydro Grind? There we differ. If I'm edging it out, I'm edging it to Roach. I'm edging it to Roach. But it was close. When I lost the feed, it was close. Shakur Hands, he had Cruz missing a lot of shots. Northside, I always have Bud whooping Canelo and EJ. Canelo is a washed up bum. That's not what we talking about, family. We talking about this card right here. So just go ahead and take a 24-hour break because you seem to be stuck on Terrence Crawford. Take a 24-hour break. Tomorrow, you could talk about this card. You're starting to sound dumb. The Hydro Grind, Northside. Who talking about that? Nah, Northside, he's sounding dumb right now. We sending him on a little 24. Shakur hands, you know how we get him, man. 24-hour break. He could come back tomorrow and not sound dumb. Not be stuck on the face of boxing. My peoples. So who agrees with the draw in this fight and who's giving it to one of the two fighters? Because I'm going to tell you, so far, people hit me up telling me that Roach got it. But there's people that hit me up telling me Pitbull got it. And then there's people telling me, yeah, it was a draw. That's how you know it's a good draw. When you have people arguing on both sides fearlessly, it's a draw. You could say it's a draw. I'm accepting it. I'll allow it. Good fight. It was a good fight from beginning to end. The reason why I say that I felt... Shakur hands. I asked you a question. Remember, when do you think Lamont Roach really started to take over? So I'm going to tell you my take. Right? I'm going to tell you my take. Within the first 6 rounds, I felt like... Within the first 5 rounds, I felt like Pitbull was ahead on the cards. I felt like he was doing more and landing more. And Lamont Roach was waiting too much. So my perception, and you tell me, what was yours? My perception is that round number 5 and going into round number 6 is when Lamont Roach really started teeing off. Like getting in that range where he's landing more combinations, where he's catching them coming in, where now he's counter-punching them. End of 5 into round number 6. And that's why I say, when round number 10 finished and I lost the feed, to me, it was a draw because I had Pitbull, those first rounds winning them or winning most of those first rounds, and then Lamont Roach taking over at the midway point, and then it was the Lamont Roach show. But what Lamont Roach did in those rounds doesn't change the ones that Pitbull won in the beginning. Shakur hands, that second half, but he wasn't doing it convincingly. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. If Pitbull won the first half and Lamont Roach won the second half, then we have a draw in our hands. Corey B, they could cash in on the rematch. Listen, it's a good fight, and it's rematch worthy, and I think it will be anticipated. I think people want to see it. The Hydro Grind, Pitbull won 1-4, Roach 5-10, Pitbull 10-12. You see, I didn't see the last 2 rounds. Carlos, Pitbull won 11-12, in my opinion. You see? If I saw rounds 11 and 12, that may sway my opinion because I didn't see them. I lost the feed after round number 10. And at that point, I felt like nobody has won the fight. I felt like both guys need the championship rounds to get over the hump. Shakur hands, he def did not. You see what I'm saying? I have to see those championship rounds for myself because some people telling me Roach got him and some people telling me Pitbull got him. Now, I know that they're hard to score because both fighters was letting their hands go. And in this case, you have Lamont Roach who might eat 2 punches, but he make you miss 4 and lands bam, 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 3. And so it's hard to score when they're exchanging like that. When you're making somebody miss and making them pay, but he's still throwing more punches, it's tough to score those rounds. Eric Goins, Pitbull won that fight, and he hurt Roach a couple of times. You see? That's why I'm saying that it's a draw. A lot of people saw Pitbull winning it. Shakur hands, like you saw Lamont Roach winning it, a lot of people telling me, nah, Pitbull got it. Pitbull got it. He landed the better shots. He landed the least. What's the deal, my G? Bam! What do you think about Pitbull, Cruz, Lamont Roach? Who you think won that fight, or is it a draw? I'm telling y'all right now, I lost the feed for the fight in round number 10. After round number 10 finished, I lost the feed. I couldn't see the last 2 rounds. And up until that point, I had it a draw. Because I felt like, okay, Pitbull won the first rounds early on, and then Roach took over. Okay, who won the last 2 rounds? I didn't see it, but after round number 10, it wasn't clear who won that fight. Think about it. After round number 10, I couldn't tell who was going to win this fight. I was like, nah, whoever win the championship rounds. And now I got people telling me Pitbull got the championship rounds, and I got people telling me Roach got them. It sounded like a draw. The Leaks 24. Love watching Pitbull fights. He's always going to go all out. Shakur hands. I don't know how many people say it. Pitt was swinging at air. Stop lying. He wasn't landing anymore. Hugging and holding. That's the thing. I felt like Roach took over the second half of the fight. But those championship rounds, I didn't see them. And I got people telling me Pitbull won them. The Hydro Grind. Pitbull almost dropped Roach in the 11th. Saved by the bell. What you got to say about that, Shakur hands? J Mo, Roach got robbed. You see, my peoples, how much more controversial can it get? Right here in this chat, we seeing it. Some people saying Pitbull got it. Some people saying Roach got it. I missed the championship rounds. Oh, look, I'm asking y'all like this, because I didn't see round number 12, right? I'm asking y'all like this. Please tell me, my peoples. We're going to break this whole fight down to just one round. And just keep it real. Keep it 100. Round number 12, who got it? Who got round number 12? Miguel Rodriguez. Bro, how did you see the fight? No, my guy. I was watching the fight, and after round number 10, I lost the feed. So I was live, but I couldn't see round number 11 and round number 10. Technical difficulties messed my whole shit up. So all I'm saying is, who got... After round number 10, and I'm keeping it 100 with you, I felt like nobody got this fight in the bag. I felt like, damn, after round number 10, the winner of this fight is going to be whoever wins the last 2 rounds, or whoever wins the championship rounds. Because it's too close to call it right now. So when I hear people saying, nah, Roach got it, nah, Pitbull got it, then it sounds like a draw to me. Road peace. Pitbull got it for real, for real. J Mo, have you ever seen Pitbull run around and stick his tongue out like that? That was showing defeat. You see, you looking into it in a way that it does seem that way. I will say something else that did look like defeat. And be honest with y'all, because you guys saw this. When they announced that it was a draw, Roach's face was like... And Pitbull, when they said a draw, was like... Look, let me show y'all. I think I got the image right here. When they said it was a draw, why Pitbull look happy? Damn, I don't got the image. When they said it was a draw, Pitbull looked happy as hell, y'all. Explain to me why Pitbull was happy when they said a draw. When Roach was pissed. And the quick recap, my peoples. Let me give you the recap. First of all, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. To everybody tuning in, I appreciate you, my peoples. Y'all know what it is on Monday. We got to bring you this heat. The first fight that I watched was on the prelims. That's what happened in boxing, man. Frank the Ghost Martin has only taken 1 L in his career. 1. And the very next fight, he's already on the prelims. That happens in the sweet science, in the sport of boxing. Frank Martin got the devastating knockout, my peoples. That's probably knockout of the year. It could be. Could be knockout of the year. He was outclassing Bartholomew, who's older, I think 40 years old, something like that, or his late 30s maybe. But Frank Martin was sharp, was fast, and ended that fight, man, with that 1-2, that left landed flush, bang, right to the snap box of Bartholomew. Put him to sleep, my peoples. Brutal shot. Quite brutal. You saw Frank Martin celebrating, and it was one of those shots where people felt worried. Even Frank Martin stopped celebrating and went over to see if the opponent was okay. And thankfully, Bartholomew was able to get up on his own feet. What a devastating knockout, my people. So salute to Frank Martin for the finish. I don't know if you guys saw Shane Mosley Jr. versus Jesus Ramos. They went to war. Whoa, my people. Mosley Jr. took a lot of punishment, kept fighting back. Ultimately, Ramos was too much. Ramos was too much. You know, started taking over, started winning rounds, and Mosley put himself in a situation where he could only win by knockout, and that wasn't going to happen. He started to get beat up and lost by decision, but it was a good fight. Good fight. Mosley was fighting back, but absorbing punishment. Ramos kept landing that right hook to the dome piece as Mosley was closing the gap, and Mosley had his moments, but Jesus Ramos did him in. Landing nasty shots to the mouthpiece, to the dome piece, to the wig piece, to the toupee, all over the place. Beat him up. And then you have Shakur Foster versus Stephen Fulton. My peoples, come on now. Come on now, my peoples. Remember that I told you this prediction, I was going to make it on Box Center 2.0. Age of 17. Salute, fam. Bam. I said, I'm going to make this prediction on Box Center 2.0. Hold on. I got to take some time. And we're going to get to it. Okay. Fam, you sound dumb as hell. This is a boxing page. You sound like a dummy. You got to get out of here, dummy. You know, I had to take my time for this prediction. And I said, come check me out on Box Center 2.0, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to get the Jay Stradamus prediction. And ultimately, I ended up predicting that Shakur Foster was going to win this fight. What a beatdown. What a beatdown, my people. Shakur Foster, but the Dre, the Swiss, and the Apple Bates on World Championship caliber fighter. And cool boy Steph Fulton. Come on now. Shakur has been underestimated, underappreciated, world champion, and still somehow flying under the radar where people not really giving him his props like that. This is another big win for his resume. He's got a few of them. And people don't give him his flowers just yet, but Shakur Foster, man, he's going to keep doing it. I've been a believer. I've been seeing him doing it. Once again, man, the Jay Stradamus prediction becomes true via Shakur Foster. J Mo, Roach did not fight dirty. Of course he does not. That's people capping. That's people capping. That's all that is. My peoples, look, I'm going to put it to you like this. Folks have a hard time accepting it when it doesn't go the way they want it to go. I'm not going to say that it went this way or that it went that way because honestly, I didn't see the last two rounds. I didn't see how they played out. But based on what I saw, I had it a draw. Those of you who were watching the live know that I lost the feed after round number 10. So, and I still haven't seen round number 11 and round number 12. After the show, I'm going to actually check them out. Why I'm saying this? Because if they split those two rounds, if they split rounds 10 and 11 and 12, I'm still going to have it a draw. I'm still going to see it as a draw if they split the last two rounds. So for me to see either guy winning, I got to see them winning both of those two rounds. If Roach won 11 and 12, then I got to win in the fight. If Pitbull won rounds 11 and 12, he won the fight. That's why I asked you guys earlier, Who won the last couple of rounds, and especially who won round number 12? Some of y'all ducked that question. Some of you ducked that question. If everybody's going back and forth about, no, this guy won, no, that guy won, who took round number 12 in this fight? Come on now. No capping, no going with the guy you like best. Who won that last round? Who won the better punches who landed the better punches in that round? Who decisively you can say, yo, I felt confident saying this fighter won that round? Rook Peace, Pitbull, bro. Age of 17. I had Roach in 10 and 11, but didn't get to see 12 because my break was over. Shakur Hands. You refuse to acknowledge that he was cheating all night and hitting the jingle bells, headbutting. So you know, oh, word, you see, that's something. Pitbull headbutt and shoulder, that's dirty tactics, my peoples. Dirty tactics. Let's not act like we didn't see that. Come on now. Al Booger, salute my brother. Bam, the Hydra grind. Come on, bro. Keep it honest. Marie Pitbull won that. Whoa, Marie says Pitbull got it. Who do I believe, my peoples? That's what I'm saying. Look, man, I'm going to have to not believe none of y'all. I'm going to have to see round number 11 and round number 12. Because somebody lying over here. Some of y'all lying. Some of y'all telling me this guy got it. Some of y'all saying somebody lying over here. J-Mo, there's no way it was a draw. Pitbull started to quit. That's why he stuck his tongue out like that. He continued to swing and miss. Side, dirty fighting from Pitbull. A lot of people saying it, you know, them little headbutts, they on camera. Them little jumping in with the shoulder, that's on camera. Noah Jimenez, you so right. Shakur Hands, word. The Hydro grind, Shakur. Both of them was playing dirty. Pitbull with the head, Roach with the rabbit punches, and clinching excessively. Agent, Roach started measuring Pitbull, and Pitbull got frustrated lots and was on the back foot. Marie, that's dirty, but it's a fight, bro. At least Pitbull had the knockdown. The Hydro grind. Watch round 11 and 12, and tomorrow you tell us who you got. That's what I got to do. I got to watch rounds number 11 and number 12, because somebody lying to me. Some people telling me Pitbull got it. Some people telling me Roach got it. I'm going to have to watch for myself and figure out who lying. Some of you liars. You a liar, and you know who you is. I don't know who it is, but somebody lying out here. J-Mo, Roach didn't need round 12. Pitbull gave up before that, running around, sticking his tongue out. No, but I'm looking at rounds 11 and 12, because for the first 10 rounds, I felt that the fight was even. I felt like the winner is going to be based on the last 2 rounds. So if they split those last 2 rounds, then I'm going to see it as a draw. That's how I'm going to see it. J-Mo, Pitbull is a complete dirty fighter when he starts getting hit. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Yesterday he showed that with frustration, he started using dirty tactics. You're right about that. It's true, because he did some of that with Rayo too, when Rayo was baiting him up. Age of 17, Pitbull was trying to keep it in his favor, because in the second half, Roach started turning the tides. We saw that in the second half. That's why I'm saying I got to see the last 2 rounds, because after 10 rounds of action, I couldn't tell who was going to win the fight. I really didn't know. Marie, bro, it was 6 o'clock in the morning. It can be that sometimes something wrong with my eye, but if someone should get the win, it was Pitbull. Roach made a big mistake by not boxing him till the last round. Let's see, man. I think this fight, with the way that opinions are so divided, this is a classic case of we need a rematch. This is it right here. The hydro grind. Pitbull took his tongue out in round 7 when it was clearly Roach's round. It doesn't tell the rest of the story. First for Pitbull, 5-10 Roach, 11-12 Pitbull. J-Mo, Pitbull started clenching. Come on, man. You see, I'm going to have to watch. I'm going to have to watch because both sides seem to be convincing me that the other guy won. And with 10 rounds of action, I had a draw. I need rounds number 11 and 12 to really know what happened in this fight. Shakur hand sidebar, 24 to Tank for his negative feedback. I mean, listen, you have to understand. These are two Tank Davis opponents. These are two opponents that Tank Davis seen in the ring. Now, he got the W off of Pitbull, and he beat Pitbull with one hand. And Lamont Roach didn't beat him clearly because, look, people saying that Pitbull got it. And it was a draw, so Lamont Roach couldn't walk out of that fight with the W like Tank Davis did. Remember I told you, and I was wrong, I said Lamont Roach was going to win this fight. Now watch this, my peoples. The first Jay Stradamus prediction that wasn't on the money. It was a draw. Like championship big fight like this, it was a draw. Ah, damn. Marie, that means it was a draw. If everybody say Pitbull won, others say no, Roach won, so that means it was a draw. That's what it's looking like to me. Because there's so many people telling me that the other guy won. Roach took an 8 count in the 11th and played it safe in the 12th. I say Pitbull won, man. There you have it, but you have Pitbull winning, and then you have how many people look saying, nah, Roach got him. Roach was making a miss, making him pay. A lot of those shots was in the air. Ow, Bugger Marie. Exactly, 100. Brady, so the judges got it right? It looked like the draw, they got it right. It looks like they got it right because if the fans are divided in a way that people are convinced Roach won the fight, and then there's other people that are convinced Pitbull won the fight, it sounds like a draw. Age of 17. I saw a lot of people say it was close and a tie, but also have some saying Pitbull and Roach by a slim margin as well. We definitely have a rematch. Come on, it looks like we have a rematch on our hands. Like, that's what's going to happen because, oh, you know what? Both fighters can decide to move on. Damn, man, I got this shit. Hold on, my people. Hold on a second. Give me a second, my peoples. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a 35-second commercial break, my peoples. I'll be right back with you. Let me grab this hydration. And y'all, I don't know, man, because some of you lying about who won this fight. Why you lying? Why you always lying? Oh, always lying. I'm going to watch the last 2 rounds, man, and I'm going to figure this out. Noel, Touch can't win a fight 1 punch at a time. J-Mo, Lamont Roach beat him clearly. Tank did not make him look bad, but Lamont did. You see what I'm talking about? Marie Debrin, do you see what Tank said? He wants Pitbull next after his knees are healed. Tank want to give Pitbull that rematch? Brady, I missed it. Was it a solid fight or a lame one? It was a good fight. It was a good fight, man. They went at it. They went back and forth. A lot of people saying Lamar Roach won. Then there's people saying Pitbull won. Then I saw the draw, but I missed the last 2 rounds, so I don't know. People lying over here to me about who won. Somebody lying. They both didn't win. Who lying to me over here, my people? Let me go grab some hydration. Quick 30-second break. My people, stay tuned. We talking boxing. Somebody lying out here. We got to figure this out, y'all. My peoples, we back in the building, and we was on mute, but I'm listening to what you saying, MS. Jay Smith, it's crazy how biased the boxing content creators behave when they all saw Pitbull win. I've never seen such a bias against a fighter. Roach clearly won. Come on, my peoples. Agent 17, we definitely have to rewatch this fight. Listen, rounds number 11 and 12, to me, if they split those 2 rounds, it's a draw. That's it. Simply because what I saw throughout the first 10 rounds. Marie, Tank said a lot on X after the fight. He said he wants Pitbull next and said a lot. He even cursed at his fans. He's getting crazy. Didn't you see? I mean, I think I seen him say something like, fuck y'all. But I mean, he didn't, I don't think he said nothing crazy. To be honest, the things he said could be used to promote a fight with Pitbull. And it spices things up. The thing is that you know that there's a different measuring stick for Tank Davis. Like, he has such star power that what he says is magnetized like crazy. But he didn't really say nothing crazy that you can't actually use to promote the fight. So, Sensei the Great, he already whooped Pitbull. I agree with you. But you got to remember this. There's people who actually said Pitbull won that fight. We don't agree with that. We know he beat him with one hand. But because he didn't beat him convincingly or he didn't dominate him, you know the haters. Pitbull beat him. Pitbull got him. Of course not. He beat him. But we also know Sensei the Great that he didn't dominate him. Okay, he can go back, get that rematch, and this time bait him up. Or be the first one to stop Pitbull Cruz. Somebody who looked like he's unstoppable. Tank Davis could be the first one. Marie De Bruyne. Yeah, Tank is a star. We have seen that every fighter he fought with him is a star now. If Tank is himself and healthy, I don't see them guys beating him. Not even Shakur. Look, man, a fight with Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson will be such a big fight, a super fight, a mega. It's the biggest fight in boxing if it happens. But we gotta see. We gotta see how it plays out. Can that fight actually be made? I think everybody wants to see it. Shakur hands, and he ain't trained for Cruz, but we gotta give it all for Saturday's fight. But Roach won. But that's what I'm saying, man. Some people see Lamont Roach as the winner. Some are saying Pitbull got him. Who really won the fight? Age is 17. Shakur gonna get the W versus Tank. Let's see, man. Let's see. That fight just has to happen. And I told you, man, once Shakur said he lost hope, and he's not even chasing that anymore, that said he know Tank is not gonna fight him, I kind of started losing hope on that fight too. Like, damn, is Tank Davis really not gonna fight Shakur Stevenson? But you just never know. Obviously, Tank is not gonna retire if he's talking about fighting Pitbull. We might get a fight with Tank Davis and Pitbull Cruz next, because we need a rematch for this. But if Tank says I want to fight Pitbull, that's gonna go over the rematch. Definitely, it happens. Marie, but Tank will never give that fight. He hates Shakur so much, he doesn't want Shakur making that bag with him. He despises Shakur so much. Nah, I don't know, man. I don't know, because at the end of the day, I think there's also that competitiveness. You know, Tank Davis, you have to understand, like him or not, he's one of the best in the game, one of the biggest stars in boxing, and he's a competitive fighter. He is a competitive fighter, my peoples. So don't think that it doesn't cross his mind like, damn, I want to fight this dude. I want to beat him. I want to be the first one to beat him. All of that stuff crosses his mind. Alexander, Shakur makes a bag. Either way, he's a turkey, but Tank isn't. Shakur hands, rude. He ain't even my boy, but he been given an unfair shake. Age of 17 makes you question stuff that Tank refusing to sign with Turkey, and Turkey making the best fight, the best. So, looking like Tank ain't want to fight the best. I mean, that's speculation, because I got to tell you, that's business, and there's a business aspect to it that we don't know. There's elements that we don't know. We don't know what type of contract Tank Davis is already in. We don't know if he's able to just, okay, let me go sign with Turkey. We don't know what type of arrangement he has with the PBC, Al Heyman, and them. So there's business that we don't know about to make, you know, an assessment with actual knowledge. We kind of just talking like what we think. My peoples, hold on, because I don't want my battery to go downhill from here. Give me a second. Let me grab my charger, my peoples. 30-second break, my peoples. Grabbing a charger. We'll finish the show. I love you. We back in the building, my peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. My peoples, make sure you subscribe to Box Center 2.0. You can see it right there. Yo, today's episode of Goofiest of the Oofiest is gonna be epic. We're gonna be talking about the nominee for Goofiest of the Oofiest, Mauricio Sulaiman. You guys are gonna be able to call in the hotline and give your opinion. Do you agree with Mauricio Sulaiman stripping Terrence Crawford, or do you say nah, he messed up, he shouldn't have did that? What's your take? Well, tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Goofiest of the Oofiest is going to be live only on Box Center 2.0. You're gonna be able to call in and give your opinion. What do you think about Mauricio and the move that he made on Terrence Crawford? Subscribe to Box Center 2.0, my people. Don't miss out. Tonight's live is going to be lit. Lit. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we gonna figure out who won Pitbull versus Roach? I think we're gonna have to settle on it was a draw. If so many people saying that Lamar Roach won the fight, and so many people saying Pitbull won the fight, are we just gonna have to accept that as a draw? Shakur Harris, WBC, Goofiest of the Oofiest. The President Clown Show Mauricio. Sean Johnson, yo, what's up, champ? Sean Johnson, what's the deal, my G? Lamar Roach, Pitbull, Cruz, man. What do you think, fam? You got people saying Roach got it. You got people saying Cruz got it. Me, bro, I lost the feed after round number 10. I did not see round number 11 or number 12. And after round number 10, I felt like the fight was so close that nobody was a clean. I was like, yo, whoever win the championship rounds, they got this. But I didn't see the championship rounds. I see some people saying Roach got him. I see some people saying Pitbull got him. Who do I believe? Somebody lying out here. Eric Gomes. Tank is the most entertaining boxer of this era. Age is 17. That goes to Crawford, no doubt. Terrence Crawford is that dude. Kenneth Harvin Roach got robbed. You see? You see a lot of people saw Lamar Roach getting robbed. A lot of people saying that Pitbull was swinging and missing like crazy, and they saw those dirty tactics. Dirty tactics usually indicate a fighter's frustrated. The little elbow, the little shoulder, the little headbutts. That wasn't a good look for Pitbull. Come on now. Shakur hands, then it'll be a draw, because on paper, it's showing that. Pitbull started to quit. Age of 17. Ain't nobody dismantled Errol Spence and Canelo like Crawford. Eric Gomes. Well, his nobody's just headlined the pay-per-view and are champions at 140 and 147. Shakur hands. But a Roach was the last man standing, and Cruz was on skates, swinging at air. Whoa. And that's been the theme. That's why people feel like Lamar Roach won the fight, because he was making Pitbull miss a lot. Marie, bro, it was just a draw. They just picked their favorite fighter, but it was a draw. And if they needed to give one of them the W, it would have been Pitbull without point taken from him. Oh, Marie with a devastating blow says Pitbull wins the fight without the point deduction. J. Mo, Roach made Pitbull look bad. Tank did not. Ooh, you see that? Making him look bad out there. Agent 17, Frank Martin and Lamar Roach were never champions. So what champions? Kenneth Harvin. I have never seen Pitbull getting backed up. You see? Pitbull using footwork? Pitbull the one moving? Come on now. Come on, my peoples. We got to see the way that this thing played out, because it's true. We're not used to seeing Pitbull. Even with Tank Davis, he was all gas, all forward, even with Tank Davis. The least, Lamar Roach is a champion. Agent 17. He fought Barrios 2 years ago. When Barrios had, but at that time, Barrios had the secondary belt. Eric Gomes. Roach is a champion at 130. Agent 17. And Tank made him go to different weight classes. Shakur hands, he need more point deductions. Punching Jingle Bells frustrated and all that. That's how I look. They could have deducted points on Pitbull Cruz for the shoulder. Remember when he jumped and hit Lamar Roach in the mouth with the shoulder? And for the headbutt. That's stuff. Like when you deliberately headbutt somebody, that could be a point deduction on the spot. The referee could do that. Oh, you headbutting over here? Take a little point real quick. Handle that. BVO, salute. My favorite Dominican. Salute, family. Bam. Shakur hands, they stripped Roach yesterday. Agent 17. Name anybody that isn't 2 years ago. The least. Roach moved up to fight Tank. Eric Gomes. Now Devin fans want Rolly versus Devin. But when Tank fought him, it's a trash fight. Nah, bro. Listen. I haven't seen nobody saying Rollies versus Devin. I haven't seen nobody saying that. That's cap, bro. We want to see Rollies. I mean, the thing is, if Rollies got a title or if Rollies is in a position, that fight is going to sell. But there's other fights that could be made in the welterweight division that are big for Devin Haney. Let's see what route he's gonna take. The whole situation with Ryan Garcia is gonna hinge on what happens between Ryan and Barrios. Which, by the way, I haven't been able to make that prediction. Have not been able to predict who's going to win that fight. But when I do make that prediction, it's going to be on Box Center 2.0. So make sure you're subscribed. You see the link right there, pinned on the comments. I will, of course, make that prediction. But right now, I'm not ready to make it. Not ready to make it. Come on now. My peoples, we talking boxing over here. This is 100% boxing. We're not talking about other sports. Boxing for breakfast on Box Center, right? Boxing is dying, though. Hold on. He don't need a timeout. He needs to get out of here. He a dummy. He don't even need all them seconds. He a dummy. He needs to just go and not come back. He needs to create another fake channel to do that again. Joshua Fitness. Joshua versus Paul. Anthony Joshua's going to knock him out. J-Mo Rolly's the weakest champion with a belt. And that could be a strategy. Let's grab an easy title versus Rolly's. And now we're unified in the division. There you go. Agent 17. Second round knockout. Whoa. I think it could go maybe 4, maybe 5. I think it could go a little bit more if Jake Paul tries to get defensive on him and tries to survive. Sean Johnson, let's stop talking about Tank. Let's talk about fighters who want to really fight and be the best. Whoa. Kenneth Harvin, check out my comment. Shakur hands, you see my message. Hold on, my people. I'm scrolling up. I'm trying to find them. My peoples. Kenneth Harvin. There was 2 Mexican judges, and they were fighting in San Antonio. I didn't know any of that until right this moment. Everything was stacked against Roach from the beginning. It sounds like it. You just made it sound like it, Kenneth Harvin. 2 Mexican judges in San Antonio. You're making it sound that way. Shakur hands, they did say it was a trash fight when Tank fought him. as well as Ryan. But they fought him, and that was supposedly a great fight. I'm not biased. Haney wildin'. I mean, look, we also have to acknowledge that Rollies is a world champion. He was not a world champion when he fought Tank Davis. He was challenging Tank Davis. Now he's a world champion, so Devin Haney's in a position for a unification fight with that same guy. J-Mo, boxing is not dying at all. Come on, bro. Boxing is thriving. We're getting big fights after big fights. Having an amazing year. 2026 is going to kick off with Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez in January 31st. A fight that we've been waiting for years. They're both still in their 20s, in their prime. Boxing is crazy right now. But you know, there's always going to be a dummy here and there that's going to say dummy stuff. Joshua Fitness, what's your prediction stats out of all the recently big fights you predicted? Like, probably like 98%. Nobody's going to get all of them right, but very, very high. Very, very high. Al Booger, Lewis Crocker is the weakest champion right now. Why you gotta disrespect? Isn't Crocker from the UK? Come on, bro. The UK. You gotta respect them fighters over there. I think Lewis Crocker is someone who doesn't have the same level of fame as the other champions. So we're also gonna underappreciate him a little bit because we haven't followed him like that. So I don't know. I wouldn't say that until he gets a shot and see how it plays out. Joshua Fitness. Agent 17. True that, Sean Johnson. Tank has the skills, but he doesn't want to fight the best to be the best. I mean, we're going to have to see because Tank Davis now looks like he'll be making his debut in the 140 division. Let's see who he's going to fight. Let's see. Because it's not like he's out there fighting bums. A lot of these guys at 10-4 became world champions, like somebody pointed out earlier. So he's fighting top-level guys. J-Mo, you're right. I didn't know 2 Mexican judges. Now it all makes sense. I'm going to have to fact-check that. Are you sure there was 2 Mexican judges on there? Come on now. Agent 17, he was like, go UFC. Meanwhile, Dana White still underpaying his fighters. Eric Gomes. Devin Haney ducked the 140 division. But he chased a title at welterweight. Come on now. Shakur hands, yeah. But Ryan wasn't a champion. So what made the Tank trash, but that fight a good one? That's bad to be that way. I mean, I don't know who said it was trash, because to be honest, there was people saying that I said that Ryan Garcia had a chance to beat Tank Davis. A lot of people said that. So I don't know why it's a trash fight. No, honestly, Shakur hands, I don't remember nobody saying Ryan versus Tank was a trash fight. That was a big fight. It was a big fight. It's just that Tank stopped him, and you know how it goes. People want to diminish it, so that's what makes it a trash fight after the fight. But everybody saw it as a big fight leading up to it. Agent 17, Eric Gomes. Haney wants to stay 2 weight classes away from Shakur. As far away from Shakur as possible. J-Mo, we're honest about our black boxers. If they got defeated, we will say they got defeated. Look, man, honestly, this fight right here, it's hard to say that it's not a draw. And like I said, J-Mo, I haven't seen the last couple of rounds. But it's hard to say that it's not a draw because so many people are going to both sides. That's like, damn. This is like the anatomy of a draw when people do this. This is the anatomy of it. Sam Hyde. Tank has never fought anyone world class. Come on, how would you say that? How can you say that? How can you say that Pitbull is not world class if he won a title in the 140 division? How can you say that Mario Barrios is not a world class if he's right now a world champion in the welterweight division? These are world class fighters. I think you have a misconception, Sam Hyde, of what a world class fighter is. I think to you a world class fighter is like the super famous guys. Is the world class is like the Canelo, and I don't know who are the best to you, you know. But to you it seems like the world class fighters are like the biggest superstars, and that's not the case. World class fighters are the guys who are fighting and competing at the highest level. Pitbull is definitely a world class fighter. Not just because of the way he competed and took Tank Davis to 12 rounds, but because he won a title. These world-class fighters who win titles. Don't let social media fool you into thinking that anyone could just grab a belt. Don't get fooled into that, fam. J-Mo, everyone keeps talking about Tank after Roach. Just smack that ass. Agent 17. True. Tank gets fighters to fight at increased or decreased weight on the rehydration clause that Floyd taught him. Side, there's always a stipulation. Frank Martin was drained too. Sam Hyde, if we're saying Tank is a world-class fighter, then we're saying Pitbull is on that level. Really? I think you don't know the difference, and I'm explaining to you, between world-class caliber fighter and championship caliber fighter. World-class and championship caliber fighter doesn't mean that you beat all of the best. It means that when you fight the best, you either win or you lose in competitive fights. If you're not a world-class fighter, Tank Davis is going to knock you out and make easy work of you. Nasty work. You need to be a world-class type of fighter to go 12 rounds with Tank Davis. Or to be competitive. Or to win rounds against Tank Davis. World-class fighters are able to do that. But the thing is that your notion is that only the big superstars that are undefeated or the biggest stars that, I guess, put more butts in seats, those are the world-class fighters. So I'm teaching you what world-class actually means. It means that you compete at the highest level. Doesn't mean that you beat everybody. Doesn't mean that you put all the most butts in seats. You compete at the highest level. Pitbull has competed at the highest level. That's what makes him world class. Not to mention that he's a world champion. World champion. Kenneth Harvin. Martin's opponent was 39 years old. He was handpicked to make Martin look good. That could be the case. You're right. That could be the case. But he has to do it. He has to perform. Because he could have won against that opponent and went the distance and been a boring fight. And he looks bad. So he also has to do it. You know, he has to make it happen. He landed the shot that made it happen. So ultimately, yes, you know, this is a guy at the tail end of his career. But he did what he was supposed to do, right? Did what he was supposed to do. Age 17. He was a year out of the ring, so the PBC put him on prelims against a prelims fighter. Shakur hands, he was missing all night too. But that left was devastating, man. That left hand was crazy. It landed so flush, and it was just too quick. Bartholomew just didn't have no way to react. Too quick. Boom. Before you know it, he was already unconscious. And those knockouts are really dangerous. You know why? Because when Bartholomew was going down, and the way that he went down, his head. Bang! Just bang the canvas. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but when the head goes like this, boom! That could be really dangerous. Guaranteed concussion. You're getting a concussion when that happens. Because when you get hit so hard that you're unconscious on the way down, you don't put your hands. You don't try to soften the blow. You just go down limp like a sack of potato. Bang! So Bartholomew was knocked out cold. Side, that canvas ain't soft either. Not at all. Like if you jump on it, it moves a little bit, yeah. But to land on your head from a standing position, he took a nasty shot to the head. A nasty shot to the face from Frank Martin, and then a worse shot to the dome piece from the canvas where he fell. Even, look, Frank Martin, when he dropped him, the first thing he did, he started celebrating like anybody would, right? But then when he noticed how bad he hurt him, Frank stopped celebrating. You saw him stop celebrating and kind of like, damn, like just waiting to see. Because, Bartholomew was hurt really bad. He was down in a way that's like, damn, this guy's really, really hurt. So I'm glad that he was able to get up on his own feet. Because, man, what a shot. What a shot, my peoples. Shakur hands. Yes, that was respectable. That was. Salute to Frank Martin for recognizing this guy is hurt. Forget about the celebration. Right now, this guy's health is more important than the win, the loss, the fight, the everything. If this guy died, we're going to forget about all this shit. So you could see that Frank respected that this guy was, down the way that he was. The celebration stopped, and he was just, concerned about his opponent's health at that point. And then the guy was able, Bartholomew was able to get back up and get it together. But that was a devastating knockout, and possibly the knockout of the year. The way that it landed, the way that he dropped him, it could potentially be the knockout of the year. Now, Jesus Ramos, my people, put the beats on Shane Mosley Jr. Mosley Jr. was fighting back, was trying to make it happen for himself, was landing some good shots. But Jesus Ramos was landing the better shots, the bigger shots, was more accurate with his punches. And that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. Put the beats on him. This fight right here gave y'all the prediction. The Hydro Grind KO of the year is still Norman. It could be. We got to look at both of them, man. They were both pretty devastating because they were both one shot. Boom! Done. Both pretty devastating. Both scary. We have to look at it. The Hydro Grind, Mosley Jr. really surprised me because I saw him fight once and he was trash. He really elevated his game and gained my respect. Now I got to tell you, man, if you look at his last few fights, he's been looking good. He has been and got a couple of good wins. But it's like it's not going to happen for him. I don't see him already. Like at this age, I think he's 38 years old. I've been watching him for a long time. And I don't think he's going to become a world champion at this point already. That's just my take. J-Mo, Cruz aggression was halted for a couple of rounds. They slowed him down. They slowed him down. But I'm going to tell you this, my peoples. This prediction right here, I made it on Box Center 2.0. And I said O'Shaquie Foster was going to win this fight. Another Jay Stradamus prediction on the money. By the way, most of my predictions will be on Box 2.0. So subscribe. Especially if you're a betting man, you're going to be balling out of control following my predictions. Balling and shot calling. You could listen or you could be wrong. Do whatever you want. Do what you will. But I made this prediction. I felt like Shakur Foster was going to win this fight based on a lot of different things that I took into consideration. And that's the way that it played out. Stephen Fulton, he just couldn't find his range in this fight. Kept punching the air, kept missing, kept punching from a distance where clearly that's not going to land. So I don't know what happened with Stephen Fulton. Shakur Foster was just jabbing the shit out of him. Kept that jab in his mouthpiece, in his nose piece, in his face piece. And he just couldn't make adjustments. Just couldn't adjust. Agent 17, Jake Smith. Why do we often see historical fighters' sons who don't do well in boxing themselves? Not all, but some. To be honest, this is not the case in just boxing. We see this in basketball. We see this in football. We see this in all sports where the kids don't live up to their father's hype. And I'm going to tell you why this happens. Kenneth Hartman, who did Foster call out? I think he called out everybody in the division, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to be honest with you. The reason this happens is because in most cases, parents aim their kids towards what they're doing, but their kids don't have the same level of talent that they had. Honestly, in most cases, it's just that simple. Your kid can be good because you put all the resources to get them to be good, but to be great, no resource can make you great. You need a level of talent to reach greatness in any sport. And if you don't have that talent, you can only become really good. With the right practice, with the right resources, you can become really good. But you can't become great if you don't have that talent to be great. It's just not possible. So that's why you see a lot of parents, they put their kids to do something, but they can't get their kids to be great because their kids don't have the talent that they had. Michael Jordan's kids couldn't jump as high as Michael Jordan. They wasn't as fast as Michael Jordan. They couldn't be like him. Bronny James, he not LeBron James. He never gonna be LeBron James. He don't got that talent. So he has had the resources behind him, and he has the skills and the level of talent to be a good basketball player. But we won't accept good because his father was great. If LeBron James wasn't his father, he would be a good basketball player, a good bench guy. But you can't be great if you don't have that level of talent. That's just what it is. Driz, nobody beats Shakur. Shakur, that's facts. Driz just showed up over here talking facts. Salute, Driz. You know your shit. Kenneth Harvard, most of those kids didn't grow up in poverty. Their parents did. That's a big part of it too. Which, by the way, I made a video about that. I made a video about why it's hard for us, for black folk, to keep generational wealth. You know why we have a hard time with generational wealth? Because instead of us putting our kids through a process so they could love and respect money and manage it like we have to because we earned it, what we do is make everything easy for them. Bang, take this, take that. So they never experience that same struggle, and they don't have the same level of respect for money. So what they do, the fortune that you build and you pass it down, Either that generation blows it or they don't leave anything for the following one, and there goes the generational wealth. Gone. So in the process, if you're lucky enough to accomplish generational wealth, you have to educate your kids on how to push that generational wealth to the next group coming up. If you don't prepare them for that, they're going to blow that shit. They're going to blow that shit. It's going to be gone. And then it goes into, what are your kids going to do? Your kids don't have to do what you do. Your kids have to do what they love. If you try to convince them to do what you do, they're not going to do it with the same passion as you do it. Now, if they want to do it too, that's great. If my son, he loved boxing. I don't know if he's going to want to be a fighter. I don't know if he's going to want to be a content creator. I don't know what he's going to want to do. But I'm going to support what he wants to do, so that then I can help him become successful at that. But if I try to convince him to do what I do, how is he going to be as good as me if that's not what he wanted to do in the first place? So I think we have to find ways to build our kids so that they can accomplish in their own right, instead of set these expectations that you got to do what I do and you got to be as good as I am. You never know. My son might be better than me at this shit. He might be better than me. But he's going to do what he wants to do. Agent 17. When he was younger, though, Marcus was a good guy, and he wasn't the best ball player. But he appreciated those who were his fans. And look, I got to tell you, we've seen it all the time. If you look at Michael Jordan's sons who play basketball, LeBron James' sons who now play basketball, if you see the sons of athletes, it's Sugar Shane Mosley's son who boxes, Chavez Jr., Julio Cesar Chavez's sons who, like, all these sons of legends who never came even close to being as good as their fathers. Look at Nico Ali Walsh, who I think is good enough to be good, but is he going to be a world champion? I don't see it. And I caught a lot of heat for saying that, my people. A few years ago, when he was still undefeated, I caught a lot of heat for saying that. I said, yo, Nico Ali Walsh, the only reason he on TV and y'all know him is because of his last name, and that's it. But if he didn't have that last name, if it was just Nico Walsh, he may not have even heard of him. He may not have even made it on TV. He may have prelims guys that you never know about. Because I understand that he's that talented. He's good enough, the right resources behind him so he could box, but he don't have the talent to become a world champion, in my opinion. Bahadur Ryan, Chavez Jr. did become a world champion, though. He did become a world champion. But again, did he come even close to the expectations set by his pops? If you look at his resume, his pops, it's like he's a bum. Driz, Gary Antoine Russell, and Conor Benn following their pops' legacy. You see? Gary Antoine Russell can fight. He can fight. Conor Benn can fight. They're example of sons who's in there and they doing it for real. J-Mo, Chavez Jr. trash. Listen, man. Paulie Malignaggi said, actually, I'm not sure if it was Paulie that said this. Let me not quote him. I know there was a fighter that said that Chavez Jr. is the absolute worst champion ever. Like the guy with the worst skills to become a world champion. Marie De Bruyne. That's the same with Conor Benn and Chris Eubank. Chris did it a bit more, but otherwise they would have been so famous, making so much money, is because of their pops. I mean, they're making a lot of money and famous because of their pops, but they put in work inside the ring. You know, they moving their own weight around to earn their name. Shakur hands, Ben, Triple G, and then we're just introduced over the weekend to the Hall of Fame. That's facts. That's fire, bro. Seeing fighters who accomplish inside the ring and then ultimately get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Salute to each and every one of them. Kenneth Harbin, also, Mosley Jr. started late. When he decided to become a fighter, he probably was 20. But that's why I tell you that some guys are really good and they can be good, but they didn't do what you had to do to be great. So with Mosley, it's like, okay, then he at some point in his career just say, what am I going to do for a living? Damn, I got my last name. Even look like my pops. I can make money with boxing. Fuck it, let me do this and make some money. And you're not going to be great like that. That's not exactly the way that you're going to become a great fighter. The Hydro Ground, we've forgotten about the biggest ever, Mayweather. Better than his dad and uncle. Followed in the legacy. Because you're saying better, but it's not like they weren't good. They were great fighters. On Lace, salute my brother. Bam! Listen, man. The main topic of conversation today has been Lamont Roach and Pitbull Cruz. Fans are divided. Some people feel like Pitbull got him. Some people saying, nah, Roach got him. Roach caught him slipping. And it's hard to say who really won this fight just based off of what the fans is saying. Now, mind you, in my case, I lost the feed to the fight after round number 10. And I had it a draw up until that point. Up until I lost the feed, I thought the fight was a draw. So I'm like, whoever wins the championship rounds is going to win this fight. That's how I felt about it. And I got people telling me, nah, Lamont got it at the end. No, Pitbull got it at the end. No, Lamont, no Pitbull. Who do I believe? Who's lying their ass off? I'm going to have to see the last 2 rounds for myself. Because if they split the last 2 rounds, this is a draw. That's it. It's a draw, my peoples. Come on now. And let me remind y'all, subscribe to Box Center 2.0. You see it right there pinned on the comments. Goofiest of the Oofiest is going to be lit tonight. You guys are going to be able to call in, share your opinion about Mauricio Sulaiman and his decision to strip Terrence Bud Crawford. Is Mauricio Sulaiman the goofiest of the oofiest? Or do you think Terrence Bud Crawford is the goofiest of the oofiest? We're going to talk about it tonight on Goofiest of the Oofiest, only on Box Center 2.0, my peoples. Don't miss the action. Do not miss the action because it's going to be lit. My people, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. Y'all already know what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Man, we had a great weekend of boxing. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Y'all know what it is. A little bit disappointed. Only 2 dummies showed up that we had to block. Not that many dummies to block this morning. But y'all know how we get down. Remember, tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Goofiest of the Oofiest is going to go live only on Box Center 2.0. Yo, you need to subscribe. You need to subscribe to check it out. Our Booger says words of wisdom. Our Booger, on this Monday morning, I'm going to have to hit you with the words of Jay Stradamus. I'm going to have to give you that. It's Monday, right? Why not? Why not on a Monday morning? Why not on a Monday morning? So on this Monday morning, I'm going to use Frank Martin to give you the Jay Stradamus words of the day. Frank the Ghost Martin had a buzz on his name. And people was talking about him. And he was coming up. And some people even felt like he could beat Tank Davis. He lost that one fight. And all of a sudden, inactivity. And after the inactivity, his first fight back, he's on the prelims. So he went from the biggest stage of his career to fighting on the prelims in his very next fight. But what did he do with the opportunity that he was given on that stage? Potentially got the knockout of the year. So to start these words of the day from Jay Stradamus, I want to give a shout out to Frank Martin and just remind you guys that life is a roller coaster. In life, you're going to go up, you're going to go down. You're not always just going to be on the up and up, because guess what? There's a lot of different moving pieces in our life. So you could be balling out of control financially, you're on the up and up, but all of a sudden you have a family member get sick. You have a family member who's dying. You have a cousin who got in a car accident. You have tragedy struck. Your damn shorty cheated on you. You got caught cheating. Shit happens. You're not always just going to be on the up and up and laughing and celebrating. That's just not realistic. That's just Instagram shit. You go on Instagram, everybody balling out of control. Everybody is on a vacation. Everybody living the time of their life. But in real life, shit goes up and down. Frank Martin was up. One loss, he went down. So I point him out because look at the way that he performed when he was down, and now his stocks is rising. And he's going to get another opportunity to go up. So never forget, my peoples, that life is a roller coaster. It goes up and down. But every time you go down, you can decide to go back up, my peoples. You can always climb back up. That's my word of the day right there. No matter what situation you're in, my peoples, you can always climb back up. Let's get this money. It's Monday morning. Salute to everybody tuning in. One love. Do not miss out on Goofiest of the Oofiest. Only on Box Center 2.0 at 6 p.m. on Mondays. Today's Monday, Eastern time. Don't miss it, my peoples. Yo, I'm out of here, yo. Y'all know what it is. I got to go make my money. I got to go get this paper. I'm going to see you guys later, man.